Other interesting business news, you have Nissan to make vintage Skyline GT R parts for the 40th anniversary in a brilliant marketing move. Now, this comes to us thanks to James Gilby, who's a writer over at The Drive, in which he says, quote, Nismo is remaking Skyline GT R parts for the 40th birthday, but they aren't cheap. Many of the Nismo's classic original logo, vintage style, come at a cost, though, which, well, yeah, they can also charge a premium because they know people will pay for it. I can't help but think it's going to be highly profitable. They say that for well-supported cars like the Nissan Skyline GT R are loved by the tuning world, there's just something special about factory performance upgrade. After all, they're crafted by engineers who know things about the car that the aftermarket will never know. So if you've been watching Up Garage and vintage Nismo parts come up, you're close to a dozen other browser tabs. Nissan is putting some of them back in production for the Nismo's 40th anniversary. But between the Skyline tax and their limited availability, you can be sure of one thing, it won't be cheap. Here you can see, it looks like they have some exhaust performance parts there. Say the incoming batch of parts were listed as, quote, new post on Nismo's website and range from accessories to cosmetics and performance parts, many featuring the original Nismo logo. Almost are for the R32, though there are a few R33 and R34 compatible items, which, let's be honest, when people think of the Nissan GTR, those are the models they think of, aka the one, well, the silver one from Fast and Furious that Brian O'Connor or actor Paul Walker famously drove. I want to say that's 90% of the reason why they're popular, but it's not an insignificant contributing factor. And again, it's an awesome platform. It's a legendary vehicle. And like most things in life, price can go up as much as you want. I went to a car show a couple months ago, and someone had spent $370,000 importing like a perfect example of it. And it looked great. I should have asked where the guy works if they need IT. But yeah, it was a beautiful specimen. Now, they say, quote, you'll be able to choose from things like branded radiator and oil caps, seat covers, a shift boot, and titanium shift knob, or things like reproduction floor mats, stickers to restore your classic. Meanwhile, the store still protectors and fitted sunshades can preserve it further. But obviously, the rest of the meat is in the factory performance parts. Starting out mild, Nismo is bringing back a signature 18-inch LM GT4 aluminum wheels, a new run of stainless steel NE1 exhaust. There's also a retro 4-point seat harness, though it looks more like these days it's going to be more like for safety compliance reasons. There you can see some more iconic parts there as well. They say the spice to that meat, though it begins with Nismo's intake manifold for the RB26D featuring an enlarged surge tank, which Nissan says is optimized from 400 to 600 horsepower. There's an official endorsement for the cranking the boost. The front mount intercooler with prominent Nismo script pairs nicely with it, along with the upgraded radiator to rid your car of extra heat. There's also an R33 Nismo 400R derived titanium strut tower that's designed to fit the R32. Further prettying up your engine bay, it's often said that the GTR tax, though, and you'll be sure to pay a premium for these factory parts, which, yeah, of course. They say the intake manifold, for example, will set you back $1,625. The intercooler, $1,650. HKS alternative is a third cheaper. The radiator runs $1,200. Oh, that's almost too funny. The radiator is $1,235, which, dude, just for marketing simplicity, I would just lowered it by a dollar, so you can say it's 1, 2, 3, 4 price point, but that's me. The strut tower bar goes for $1,160. So, I mean, this will sell pretty darn well, especially with enthusiasts. And it's one of those things where more, I mean, in terms of factory support and manufacturer support, I mean, it's hard to beat Mazda in terms of like the long running support they've had for the Miata. I mean, you can get those parts darn near everywhere and anywhere these days, and the factory does pretty good supporting them. There's a Nissan. Well, shoot, I'm not sure how much they've really done, but in terms of preserving your iconic pieces of automotive history, you should be doing this all the time anyway. I mean, this is, when people think of Nissan, I mean, pejoratively, people think of the Altima and the BAE Energy. I mean, this whole Facebook page is dedicated to that, which admittedly is funny to look at. But if you really want to think peak Nissan engineering, peak performance, the R32, R34 GTR, and that's when they were at their best. And arguably, they've been going downhill ever since, thanks in part to terrible manufacturing techniques and choices like the, what was it, the dual clutch? Oh no, what was it? A CVT transmission that breaks every 10 seconds, seemingly. But yeah, in terms of, I mean, Porsche does a great job supporting their legacy vehicles, like the Porsche Carrera GT. I mean, the Porsche GT, this premium, it's now worth over $1 million. They still do updates and support with parts with it. And I mean, it's part about keeping the company's legacy alive. Just for even if they only make a little bit of profit, which again, I suspect they'll make a lot of profit on this, just for the marketing alone, just to keep that dream alive, I think it'd be worth every penny, because it keeps a good name associated with Nissan, where they could use every help, every little help they can get when it comes to that metric. And I think, I mean, these are going to sell out immediately. I mean, I have a friend who tracks one of these vehicles, which is awesome. It's so rare to see these actually going to the track and used as they're engineered for. They should all be doing that, but it's one of those things where I'm sure these things will sell like hotcakes. Everyone's going to want them. And yeah, why not just support it full time? I mean, I'm actually surprised they don't just, embolden a little, 40th anniversary extra logo or decal on there just to further emphasize like the anniversary point. But if I was, one of the leads at Nissan, I'd say, well, let's do this full time, have a legacy program, like a heritage program, go to, customer support long term. I think it'd be great for the brand. And again, Nissan needs every help they can when it comes to preserving or turning around the brand that is Nissan has become. But let me know in the comments, do you think more manufacturers should do this for legacy vehicles? Do you think this will actually improve anyone's optics or anyone's opinion of Nissan? Or do you think it'll be actually perceived as just a quick money grab? Let me know, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.